If you have ever felt like you are failing in everything all at once, you are not alone. This is one of the most common feelings that I have noticed immigrant millennials go through, especially when they are transitioning into becoming a caregiver for somebody that they love. Hi, if you're new to my channel, my name is Sham Meta and I'm a board certified chaplain and an educator in the field of spiritual caregiving. Let's talk about the 5 most overwhelming challenges that immigrant millennials feel and how to untangle them. One of the first challenges that you may feel is that there is not enough time. It feels that you just never have enough time for everything that you need to get done for yourself, your family, and your loved one that you're caring for. You're always running between hospital appointments. There are other personal and professional deadlines that you're trying to manage. And the idea that time is either completely stopped or it just feels so accelerated, you just feel like you're just running in circles and getting nothing done. The other most common feeling that feels challenging for you is guilt, feeling that you are just not doing enough in any area of your life. Coming to work as fully yourself doesn't feel enough. Being a care provider doesn't feel that you're good enough. You're doing that well enough. Even becoming who you are in taking care of yourself, and you feel that you're not doing that good enough job for yourself either. All of those things are kind of combined into this feelings of guilt that you feel over and over again, just not being enough. The third most common thing that I've heard a lot is who I am becoming, or who I have been, who I will be as my life changes, as I become more of a caregiver. And in all of that, there is a clear identity clash. We have many instances in our life where we're sitting down and thinking that this is who I am. I am my profession, or I am the wife, I'm the daughter, I'm the partner, I am the author. And all of these identities make us who we are. But when it comes to caregiving, suddenly it may feel that suddenly being a caregiver overpowers all of the other identities that we have in our life. Or if it doesn't feel that way, it again goes back to the cycle of feeling a sort of guilt around whether I'm not doing enough. And so all of this kind of ties back together and forms kind of like a vicious circle in which you're constantly debating whether this identity of yours is serving the other identity that is equally important to you. And as we talk about being in this circle over and over again, one of the most clear signs is just complete emotional burnout. You're completely emotionally depleted to the point where you may feel numb around situations that used to bring you joy before, some things that you used to look forward to before. Now you're suddenly just numb to them. Complete burnout does not show up on paper. You are so used to doing the roles that you are doing on an everyday basis, and you're constantly on the go, that you may not even recognize that you're completely emotionally depleted, that you haven't had time to think about what you actually feel. What are you actually going through? And then again, these are just one of those things that most people go through. And then if you're going through it too, please recognize that it is a completely normal thing to feel. The fifth and final thing that comes into play are expectations from families, especially if you are like me, an immigrant millennial. You have generational and cultural expectations that come with who you are and what your family's background is. And what do those expectations look like and feel like can completely change when your role as an individual then becomes of a caregiver. And an example I would like to share around generational expectation and cultural expectations and how the dynamics impact relationships when the roles kind of navigate around taking care of a loved one. And this is especially clear when it comes to sibling relationships. If you are an older child, you may feel that you are suddenly now responsible for taking care of a loved one, while you feel that your siblings are just living their life and not able to or feel the same sort of responsibility. Say, for example, if you're taking care of a sick parent. And this is a very common thing to happen, especially when conversation lines are not clear. There are unspoken expectations around what each sibling's role should be and will be in situations like that, especially when it comes to medical decision making too. I've seen many times where the conversation becomes so tangled because everybody is on different wavelength. And this is also normal because caregiving and especially taking care of a sick parent is not something that we can plan in advance for. It would be great if we could predict it, but that's not normally how life runs. And so any kind of expectations around who manages what role, especially within siblings, becomes crucial. So when you are navigating that for yourself, it is important to remind yourself that this is a new situation that we're facing right now. This is a new way that we're learning to relate to each other now. And what will that look like? What does that feel like? And to give yourself grace, to be compassionate with yourself as you navigate all of these family expectations and cultural expectations is going to be crucial as you walk this path of caregiving. And now you're probably thinking, okay, Shama, you've listed out all of these issues, and you resonate with some of them, if not all of them. And they're thinking, okay, what do you even do about it? So let me give you one quick small tactic that you can implement right away, is to kind of take a couple of minutes for yourself and really identify exactly what role and duties within caregiving are you comfortable taking on. Having said that, I'm not saying that this is the only roles you'll ever have to do or this is the only duties that you'll only have to fulfill. But having that clarity will give you a starting point, a foundation of where you are right now, that you will not then be surprised that should something be added on or something be taken out of the situation. So allow yourself that time. A couple of minutes will do. Just really think about it. I strongly encourage that you sit down with a blank piece of paper and just really write down what roles and duties do you see yourself playing out in a situation where you're going to be the primary caregiver of a loved one. To help you to continue to untangle all of these challenges, I have created a free caregiver clarity checklist. I highly encourage that you download it and to get an idea of where you are emotionally right now and to see how you can build your foundation of caregiving on top of that. The caregiver clarity checklist will give you a clear idea of what particular aspects are actually weighing heavily on you and bring to the forefront all of these things that you may be thinking or feeling. When you become aware of about what's most weighing on you, it will give you a clearer path forward. It will give you the foundation of how to take care of your loved one, but also yourself. So of all of these challenges that I mentioned, which one are you most feeling right now? I would love to hear from you. I would love if you could put that in the comments below, and would love to hear and get into a deeper conversation with you on this. I'll see you next time.